You are now tuned in to the To Be Told podcast.
My phone is. Hold on. Let me do it again. What'd you say, Elliot?
Says your phone on mute.
My phone is on mute. Elliot, my brother, is your phone on mute?
Wait a minute. Phone's on mute.
You gotta check all three phones, huh?
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm Coreigh Terry.
This is Elliot Guidry.
And you're now listening to the To Be Told podcast. Elliot, man, what's going on?
Man, brother, you sound a little
Yeah, the Eagles are 9-1. I was shouting. It was Sunday night, right? Not Monday night?
Yeah, Sunday.
It was a good time. It was a very good time. We do have this is considered a full house.
Quite full.
We do have someone off the mic. We have the contributor and
I'm going to
co-founder.
be clearing my voice for you all night, I can tell.
I appreciate that. We got contributor, co-founder Joan in the backdrop. That's so we know it's live. We got Uncle Otis in the JettI Masstyr in the building. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
What up?
Everything's Gucci. We got
How you brothers feeling today?
Yeah.
Feeling great.
Yeah.
Good.
That's such a dry question. But it's a necessary question, right?
Of course.
It's like an icebreaker.
Yeah, it's
How you
icebreaker.
doing? I mean, do people ever say, "Man, I'm just having a shitty day"?
We don't want to hear that.
Yeah, no one.
Yeah, you tell me. I'm like, well, why? I didn't ask you all that. Yes, you did. No, I didn't mean it.
Well, I mean, I think if we ever got that answer, we would probably dive into the conversation of why they feel like they had a shitty day.
On a podcast, you would.
I just think people ask that question not wanting to hear anything. They
Yes.
expect people to be like,
It's more of a greeting. It's like saying hi.
Salutations, yeah. It is
you
like
doing?
saying hi. Because I have people like delve into it. I'm looking like, what are you doing? Why are we
Why are
going
you
on this
talking
road?
so much?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's typically the people that
As
you
you
don't want
walk,
to talk
as you
to.
walk by,
It was like, I didn't want to talk to
that's not
you.
what this
Yeah.
was.
Well, how much time do you have, sir? That would be crazy. But Elliot, you look super tired. You just came from a WWF wrestling match. Is that correct?
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah, WWE, they were in town actually the entire weekend, but that's not why I'm tired. You know, I started a new job, so literally my sleep schedule is all fucked off now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, yeah,
You
waking up.
they're working like the graveyard shift type shit.
No. It's just super morning, waking up 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. What, tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I don't know what the world looks like at that time.
It's very
Dark.
It's very dark. Oh, my goodness.
I've seen it going to sleep. I've never seen it having to wake up. This is a whole new world for me. This is pretty fucked up.
Even your eggs taste different.
Bruh,
What?
Burger King eggs ain't shit.
They fresh.
You got to go pick up eggs.
Yeah.
I can't go make eggs.
Yeah, you waking up the rooster.
You
Yeah,
know,
you waking
wow.
up. Man, so
early eggs taste different. Than,
no, he listens to somebody who don't like eggs and shit. His daddy don't like his whole line lineage don't like eggs.
well, no. I mean,
They had a
so
little
from,
bit of egg on my sandwiches.
from my perspective is I now have no time to make my own eggs, so they don't taste good because I got to get them from Burger King or some shit on
Gotcha.
the way to work.
I mean, is there a peak time to cook eggs?
I mean,
there
if you live on a farm,
preferred time?
if you live on a farm, this may be true.
when the sun comes up.
When the sun comes up, sunny side up. When it's dark.
That might be the funniest shit I've heard.
Yeah. Straight up, for real.
Oh, man.
But we do. I'm glad we're here. Elliot's timeline had me.
Had created quite the stir today.
It did.
happened? I missed it.
Yeah. So let me set up before you get into it. So basically, Elliot is a Houston rap enthusiast, hip hop enthusiast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we bump heads a lot, mainly because
Our palate is a little bit different.
yes, it's very different. Well,
Okay.
Very different.
My palate is expansive. His palate is like hamburger helper, cheeseburgers, French fries, right?
Ain't nothing wrong with hamburger helper.
No, I'm just joking. I'm trying to make
Those
my
are
palate.
those are classics.
It is. I try to make my palate better, but you know,
Yeah. It's
I like Brussels sprouts and that is.
Well, I would say your taste for music is a little bit more expansive than mine because of your experiences through your different regions that you have been able to live in.
right.
And me being a little bit more closed in, I know pretty much what's going on from
Right.
610 to the Beltway.
Straight up. So let them know what your post was, and we're gonna delve into like what
So
you're saying.
I put up a post, and I was feeling like super proud of. And there's a reason why I got to that, but the post was, how can you be from Houston and somebody from Houston not be on your top list? I didn't say top 5, top 10, top whatever.
That's true.
I just said top list.
That's true.
And I kept it very vague for that specific reason, because it's like at a certain point you put a number on it, those kind of things can be debatable, and you can argue those points down.
Right.
So shortly thereafter, Donnie Houston gets on, and he's saying, well,
He said, "Fuck you, nigga." No, he
no,
didn't say that.
no.
That doesn't sound like
Nah, he didn't say that.
No. He said something to the point like, you don't have to, if you're from a particular city, or particularly in Houston. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was like, if you're from Houston, you don't have to have people from Houston in your top 5. Yet again, him putting the top 5 on there. He said, but also Scarface was in his top 5.
Right.
Excluding the fact that Scarface is from Chicago, but he's a Houston representative. If you want to get into the technicalities of it all.
Right.
So then I replied, well, case in point. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, Scarface influenced somebody that's in your top 5. I don't care. It's
Wait, we got to back up a second. Scarface is from Chicago.
I didn't know that.
This is news to me, and I would kind of challenge that. So can I fact check that? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said
Now,
it.
if you have Sprint, you might have trouble fact checking that right now.
I don't know about that one, but okay.
Yeah,
That's
I-
my first time ever hearing that in my life.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know someone.
Born in Chicago, moved to Houston, but he represents Houston.
Yes.
Right. So like UGK, they're Port Arthur, but
Yup.
they're Houston artists,
Yep. Well,
pretty much.
they bridge the gap between here and Port Arthur.
They weren't initially.
Right. I mean, they always said Texas.
It
They
changed.
represent
It
Texas.
was some point where it changed, where it was like, okay, they're considered Houston too.
DJ Premier. Does Houston embrace Premier as a Houston?
Not as much as they should.
Is he from-
We recognize him as being from Houston.
Because someone told me that he just went to school in Houston.
Nah,
Well, he went to PV, so that's not technically Houston, but he's from Houston.
he's from Houston. His
Okay.
grandmother
But
lives
he-
on the Mo.
So I keep hearing all
has-
that. Everybody's debating all these. I'm like, well, nobody's from Houston no more.
Now, if we're talking about producers,
Yeah.
he'd be top 5.
Oh
in
yeah,
my book of
top 3
producers.
maybe, top 5. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely top 5. From
Yeah,
Houston,
definitely.
regardless. But yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you I guess my point to that
It's tricky because most people want to put Premier with New York
Yeah,
Right.
because
because that's the sound.
right.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with Houston is it's always like when you talk about top Houston stuff, it's usually the stuff that's synonymous with what Houston
Right.
is known for versus this person's from Houston.
Right.
They just happen to make different sounding music.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Because you can argue
That can be problematic.
Travis Scott and his sound today. It sounds nothing like what your quote unquote typical Houston music is.
No.
It sounds more of what's the mainstream. Matter of fact, the music he's putting out is the mainstream.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So your point was that you couldn't be from Houston and not have someone from Houston in your top anything list.
Right.
Now, what's top? But the thing is, when you say top, you have to have a bot. You can't just say top, because then you can say top 100, top 200.
That's up to you.
What is that point actually saying though?
I don't know. Now when you say that, I don't know now.
So
you back it out of this.
No, not at all. So my entire point behind it was me being from Houston and me being proud of the culture that is here.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's almost unimaginable for me knowing the amount of talent that's out here for somebody not to have somebody in their top list.
But for the person making the post, right? What is a top list for you?
Whether it being your top 5, top 10, top 15, 20, and 20 is
But
like
if you're
max.
upset at somebody, you have to have a range. You can't dance like that.
I wasn't upset at anybody.
You sounded upset.
No, not at
You
all.
like-
No.
You had Elliot, you had like 8 posts in a row about that.
No, it was.
I'm exaggerating. 8. It was like 3, 4.
Yeah, it was 3. It was 3, and then
Okay.
it was everything else was a branch off of that post and things that were said in that post.
That's a very passionate thread there, right?
Right.
So maybe not mad, but angry might be the
So
wrong.
you're saying
emotion.
you wouldn't believe someone could be from Houston and not have someone a rapper in their top 5 from Houston.
And so this is the way I was explaining it from this point was wherever and then I was also bringing Coreigh, like with him being from the East Coast, most of his influence is East Coast. So it's unimaginable for me to see him not having somebody in his top list being from the East Coast. if one of us was from the West Coast, it's unimaginable to me that somebody from the West Coast would not be in your top list.
But
I think.
all right.
I was gonna say, I think for us, we kind of went through phases, and I'm wondering if y'all went through phases as well, where it's like, I was in 8th grade, and I remember I was listening to Fifth Ward Boys. I didn't even know that they were from Houston.
Right.
We were just stealing tapes from record town. So whatever hip hop was out, we were taking it, right, and we were just trying to listen to what was new. We went through. West Coast. I had like a West Coast phase. Listen to Pace One and Snoop,
Right?
MC8,
college boys,
all them dudes. And then,
I would have to say if you lived your life in Houston, and as far as rap is concerned, if that's the extent of your palette, you have missed out on a world of music.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand this blind faith or blind allegiance. Like, since I'm from here, I was born here, I have to be all things Houston all the time. I think that's a problem, honestly, especially when it comes to say coverage of the music in Houston, or certain people champion certain artists or certain albums. It's like, expand your palette, bro. Like, yeah, Houston has a culture, has a defined sound, had a defined movement, had movements, multiple movements, and it's great. But from a rap perspective, if you only listen to Houston rap your entire life, Jesus, you've missed out on some great shit.
Yeah,
I will say this though, I do think, and this is from the outside looking in, I do think that Houston, had a culture where Houston fans, hip hop fans, supported in large amounts and probably almost somewhat exclusively Houston hip hop.
Yeah,
it was almost like its own bubble, its own market. I mean, it was really one of the main reasons why we moved out here, because it was like, you got people like Slim Thug who was able to sell that many records just
Mike Jones, Paul at the time,
just in this area.
The eyeballs,
you weren't seeing it anywhere else. So I can understand, you being from Houston, and it's just like we grew up around our own music, and we didn't really let too many other things in. Yeah. But to your point, I do think you probably missed out on some really good music, right? That would have helped you say, man, there's a lot more stuff out there,
like,
right?
I kind of agree with you, because I mean, it would be hard to live in Houston and have never listened to any Houston rap. Right. So to your point, I understand it, but then I also feel like if someone's just a little bit more well-rounded with their ear and they've listened to more stuff, I could see someone leaving a Houston rap out of the top 5 easy. If we're talking about top 5 GOAT, I can easily see somebody being like, Face is the only one that I feel like people would put in a general. If we took like your average hip hop fan, and we just took an average poll or whatever, I feel like Face is probably the one that's gonna.
I mean, he's gonna be the go-to one because of his influence on.
But you can tailor your list.
Of course, it's all subjective at that.
Yeah. People do lyricist or.
But I do want to get this on the record.
They break it down.
I am born in Delaware, but I moved and I lived in Colorado for 4 years.
That's a small circle between you, Jersey.
Well, let me finish. I lived in I was born in Delaware. I moved like first grade. Okay. I moved to Colorado. I was there for 4 years. I moved to Hawaii, and that's basically California radio that we're getting at night. I mean, to get anything from the East Coast, that was New Jack Swing era. That's how old I am. At that point, I'd listen to like late radio, but then I came back. So yeah, I heard a little bit of everything. So I grew up when I was very influential. I was getting West Coast radio. I was getting Ice Cube Death Certificate. I was getting the Too Short records that was flying out. I was getting all of that. But when I came back to the East, I got a chance to really pick what I really like. Right. But that's all. I don't want people to think I'm just like this East Coast dude. That's all I know.
No. Yeah. And that's why when I started the conversation, I said you have a wide range of stuff that you listen to. I mean, your influences because you've been all around. Right. So it's understandable because you've been into so many different regions to where at least if you're a person who's listening to radio and you're getting, the music that you're listening to from that media form, then whatever they're playing is what you're getting.
That's what you're getting.
Yeah.
But at the time when we were coming up,
like in the early 90s, like radio drove
Right, I was going to say that.
What was going on?
It wasn't fragmented, so whatever was popular.
That in TV, music, especially music videos.
Yeah.
I mean, music videos. I mean, I my first kind of experience, my first full blown, I'm a fan, was probably Bone Thugs and Harmony. So I was just a super fan of them while I was listening to Screw Tapes and a little bit of UGK.
We missed out on Screw Tapes. I keep hearing
I completely lost my shit when DJ screwed up some of those records.
Yeah, but when Ain't a G thing came out, when that video came out, you couldn't escape that. So that opened you up to West Coast. Absolutely. And then I remember it was probably 96, 97 was my first kind of taste of East Coast rap. Right. Like Nas, It Was Written. Right. Life After Death, Wu-Tang Forever, the double LP. Then I was like, oh shit. Then now I need to go back and study all of their old stuff. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
And when that wave started to happen, it was, even today, I only have a few guys out of Wu-Tang that I really listen to.
Which guys?
You better have the right ones.
I think everybody only has a few guys out of Wu-Tang.
There's so many of them.
It's true. Hell.
Who give me your top.
Top three?
Give me your top list.
Out of Wu-Tang?
Yeah.
Method, and then their extended brother Redman.
What?
Yeah,
yes.
Ghostface.
Ghostface.
I couldn't. I'm listening to Ghostface now because of Bronson.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
But
that hurts to hear that.
It does. But the reason why I understand it, though,
I couldn't.
You caught it late. You caught it late, so I can understand.
Damn.
So now I can understand it. But when I first met this mother, I was like, I don't understand. But if you catch it late, then I get it. Because
it's inverted.
Because he knows. I was rocking. I was banging Will Smith albums. I love Will Smith. And
Big Willie style.
Yeah, all that. You think I'm playing? I run some shit down for you, but I was getting.
Hey, let's do that on the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
not this one.
He's like, when I'm not here. But I do know that when Wu-Tang came out, I think Method was everyone's favorite at first. Then it flipped to the Ghost and Ray.
Well, they flipped to Ray.
Ray to that purple tape.
For me, Method was always the guy that
he was the
bridge.
He was the slim. He was slim for the 112.
He was the bridge between
commercial.
The fact that really Wu-Tang really is like a marketing nightmare when you think about
nightmare.
It. Yeah, when you think about it. Yeah, you got these really scary looking dudes. I'm talking about Enter 36 Chambers early, 92, 93.
Yeah.
They're into kung fu. They're talking about shit they don't know. They're dropping all these aliases. None of us here in Texas, I know, knew what they were talking about. Method Man was the only one that, of course, the Mary J. Blige joint. That was probably this guy. He kind of rides that line between whatever the fuck they own and actually making something that the whole world would get into. Yeah. So I can see that, but
there's a lot of I always say there's a lot of power in discovery, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that in itself was great marketing. I don't think they knew what they were doing, but just the fact that it was just what the fuck.
It was perfect. I'm talking about if that was the scenario now, it'd be how do we push this?
But the only way they could do it is just they were in charge of their business, their music, and their sound. They kept pushing it. Yeah. Because no one's gonna know how to market you. They just did it themselves. When people started to figure it out, I felt left out when I wasn't, everybody.
I don't think what they've done and what they continue to mean to hip hop will ever be duplicated. Yeah. With that many artists, I mean, granted, you may have your favorites, but
no.
The first,
I think you're right.
RZA produced the first wave of all of their solos, and there's 4 or 5 classic albums in that wave.
That's pretty crazy.
That's a hell of a run.
Yeah. Well, wait, Timberland and Maganu. That was a joke, but it didn't go over that well. So I guess we can move on.
I'll put it
I thought about letting you slide, but I was like, nah.
When I think about what Houston had, I give you an example. Me and this guy, we were in Universal building, right? We knew a guy. He was in the A&R group over there.
Shout him out, son.
What's up, what's going on? We were in the Universal building, and we're sitting at his desk. And he's got these stack of CDs, and this is what 2003 maybe 2003. He's got these stack of CDs. We pick it up. We Chameleonaire.
Exactly. Yo.
Well, we didn't say it like that because we didn't know how to pronounce it. We were
it looked like a lizard
something. Yeah. And he said Look, man, somebody's hot for this guy because it's coming down from the top guy, Universal, that this is everything we pushing, this Chameleonaire. And we're like,
the name just sounded so funny.
It sounded so funny. We're like, where is this guy from? 6 months later, that song, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing it. But from what we found out from this guy is that this guy had been like the biggest thing down here for almost a year and a half.
He was definitely, when he was spitting, he was one of the top lyricists.
Yeah,
you weren't getting you were getting the I done came down, da 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 freestyle out of boys. But when Chameleonaire started, it was like, oh shit, we got somebody that can actually rap.
Yeah. But
Okay.
y'all have spit. That's the thing.
No.
I didn't know it.
But it was so different.
Okay.
To where it was like just some new shit to us, and then
I
he
would say
kept coming.
him and Paul, they added the stuff that they did together.
But after the Get Your Mind Correct,
Yeah.
he started doing the Mixtape Masstyr mixtapes, and that is what catapulted him to Chameleon. Well, to that Universal situation, because he just kept going and going and going, and he wasn't running out of things to talk about. He just kept going.
So what do you think? From the Chameleonaire to the Paul, Slim, all that. What do you think kind of rode that wave out? Why do you think that wave just kind of went somewhere else?
Well, I mean, shit started to sound the same, and then as much as the influence of what the screw music was, it started getting out everywhere. If you start to think about every song around that time had some kind of influence of chopped and screwed. Yeah.
But if you apply that same logic to trap music, you know what I'm saying? It didn't stop that. So everybody's borrowing that.
Well, now because anybody can do that shit.
Chopped and Screwed is still in music today.
Well, it's an element. It's not like a whole song.
It's not a whole song, but it's an element.
They'll take an element. Yeah. Why do you think it just kind of just?
I tend to blame Houston.
Why so?
Because it wasn't allowed to evolve. It wasn't allowed to maybe spin off into something else. It wasn't. It was just that's what we want. And I still feel that way. I still feel like even today. You talking about ultimately?
That's what executives.
I'm talking about not executive. I'm talking about the people, the fan base.
They don't want to let you hear anything else.
If it's Houston, this is what I want for Houston.
Okay.
Perfect example is the Slim Thug Already Platinum album when he was signed with Pharrell.
Yeah, everybody was shitting on it, and that's what I heard.
Yeah, I mean, some people were upset about how it sounded. Yeah. There was stuff. There was stuff that was in the vein of H-Town. I mean, it wasn't like Neptune's produced the whole record. Like Mr. Lee had some beats on there, so they had singles that would still kind of cater to the core.
Right.
But I just feel like I talk about this shit all the time with Donnie. Like I think it was in the same year. Like Already Platinum came out. So Slim is with Star Trek.
Yep.
Right. Paul is on Kanye West's second album.
Yeah.
And it's just like
and it sounded like a Houston ass record.
Yeah, and it's just like okay.
It sounded like a hybrid. It sounded like what Pharrell was trying to do.
When Paul got on it,
but it was just a feature though.
Yeah.
So I don't think that hurt. But I know.
No. All right. What he's
Paul
saying
Wall,
is
I'm saying.
No. Yeah. Paul Wall featured on the record, but that record is the aesthetics of it sonically is Houston.
I probably don't get an opinion here because I'm not from Houston. But would you guys like edit this if I said who's to blame for it and I said rap a lot?
What do you mean?
No, I wouldn't.
I'd be all ears.
Yeah, and exactly.
I'd play coy like I didn't know what you're talking about. But
I think that response right there. I think that's kind of where you think about why that wave kind of just faded away because it's all this control, right?
Yeah.
Trying to go through this one, Houston.
Everything's running through this one funnel.
You can't let it funnel like let it grow organically, and you would see I think so many more different. I remember Michael 5,000 watts. Just. All that stuff was coming up through him, So it was like, what happened?
Yeah,
what happened?
Yeah,
what happened to Swisher House? Like, what happened?
Each of those guys started getting their own independent situations. Like Slim Thug, he wasn't about to lock himself into a situation.
Slim, Paul, Mike, all of them. I mean, there was prosperity, but back to my original point. The Kanye's style of sampling is typically speeding things up. If you listen to the original sample of Drive Slow, he slowed it down. Like he he knew
what
he
was
wanted
doing.
to get.
Yeah.
I want to say I heard a story where Paul wasn't even the original person that he wanted to get on there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was because of I don't know, maybe like a label relationship or something. But I think they may have wanted Mike on it initially
Paul.
or something like that.
I'm glad they went with
But
Paul.
then they ended up giving it to Paul and it took off.
I'm
But
glad.
but I feel like it hasn't gotten back to that national level.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
so to where, because when it's at a national level, people want to borrow and pull, and I think at one point, and I may be wrong, Houston was kind of like very.
it's early 2000s.
They were very don't take that. That's ours. You got that from us. Yo, chill. No. You can't have that.
Yeah, because everything then at that point became chopped and screwed.
Well, that too.
Right.
Because when you say chop and screw, when I hear chop and screw, it wasn't chop. It was like you would hear an element. They would slow one part down. They speed it back up.
But it was the fact that
Yes. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
And it could have been anything. It could have been anything. And this is now
Right.
adding to JettI's point was.
But also to
if
the-
it would have had any kind of little tidbit to it.
Yeah.
It was like, wait a minute, that's ours.
Well,
what the fuck are you doing?
Well, this the conversation, the content, talk about lean and all that kind of stuff. And,
that took legs of its own.
But you got to think about also like Big Pimpin', like that story of how Big Pimpin' was
that's a hilarious
recorded,
story.
and then the story about how the video was shot is all time Pimp C. But the apprehensiveness,
what the fuck he won't?
Yeah. They were so protective of their sound.
Right.
They were like,
what he won't.
Even though Jay-Z is the biggest rapper in the world at this time, they were still not like gung ho, like, yeah, we got to do a song.
No.
They were like,
Bun was.
They didn't
Bun,
need to.
Pimp
Bun
wasn't.
wanted to, but I'm just saying collectively, it wasn't like,
We-
for
like,
sure,
we
we definitely gonna do that. It was like, I don't know.
I think everybody was trying to tap into that Houston machine.
Right.
It was a machine.
It was.
Jay-Z was going to get Bun B and Pimp C on the record because you get Houston
Because you couldn't penetrate, and that's why I understand someone who's from Houston who doesn't get anything outside of it.
I remember
because you got to really look for
Same
it.
thing. He was on a Scarface album around the same time.
Yeah, it's Scarface,
99, 2000.
Beans, Mac and Brad. Like,
Just listen to the
everybody was going out trying to how could we get Houston? It's like I said, it's the reason why we were like.
Just listen to all the Houston references from Jay, even Big. So many references coming out of here. Even Kanye, Bun B at the Host Awards girl he had with him. Remind me of Houston Candy Paint or all that shit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of faded away. I think the culture snuck back in when Drake came.
Yeah.
Drake. It definitely fell off, and I think Drake was. It's kind of weird because
not the music. He made the actual culture.
The thing that
cool.
like, when you guys were saying that like Houston was so protected, like, oh, that's ours. It seemed like when Drake came around, it was they embraced it a lot more.
The reason why, and this is probably one of the reasons why we moved out, was because they were like, you can't just send out records. You can't just play this out there. You gotta
be there.
You be like Dipset, how they had a club out here and shit like that, and people love Dipset out here.
Yeah.
Right, and they're from the East Coast, but people love them. Dipset was kind of Wu-Tang-ish.
Yeah.
Just
as far as the phenomenon.
Just like what it
but also Dipset embraced Cameron embraced Wayne at a time where New York wasn't like
there was another dude
y'all from the South.
Harlem embraced Wayne. Remember Jay Mills?
Yeah, that too. So I think that played into Dipset's music. Some of it is slow.
Mm-hmm.
People like really undermine that. Like the screw shit is like it's a real thing. I do it. I do it in my production. Like I will slow a record down as opposed to speeding it up.
Right.
To get a slow groove, a nod, because
but that's what I was trying to explain before.
That's what we gravitate towards.
That's why I was trying to explain A$AP Rocky's influence.
Yeah.
And that's why it makes a lot of sense why he even went that direction.
Because he's Harlem. I mean,
it's not right.
A$AP Mob is essentially.
He listened to bass, and they real
A$AP Mob
chill.
is essentially like a baby Dipset / Harlem World.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
And A$AP Rocky is your Cameron / Mace.
Right.
He's the face of
There's
it.
some cool motherfuckers though. It's some cool motherfuckers. And even they swagging on all the records.
They threw some lean into their music, some slow down in some music, and Houston people gravitated towards ASAP Rocky.
I remember Marcus Manchild was shitting on that.
Okay, Marcus Manchild.
Yeah, Marcus Manchild was ill. I don't know what happened. He ended up going to Cali or some shit.
I have no comment on that.
Okay, no. All right.
I don't know.
So we'll scratch this.
He was upset. Yeah, but you have to understand the why.
Because I think he just felt like, and it wasn't just him. It felt like he was just like, yo, you taking our swag, trying to run with it. But it felt like they were showing ode to Houston.
I just think it's always interesting when the little guy is telling the big guy,
right?
Hey, you took. He's hot. Yeah. What you gonna do?
Right.
I mean, it happens.
Touche.
Copycat.
You said that the best way.
Yeah, you may be right, but people ain't trying to hear that.
Right.
Yeah.
Make a hard record.
But I do want to bring. I really want to bring this up. I want to get this, and I know you do have some questions for Elliot, right? Because Elliot now is like Houston's academics. He posts shit. And it,
wait.
Hold on.
That's a snub.
No, hell no.
Wow.
But y'all.
Wow, that was a good one.
First of all, you
don't have many. That was funny.
No, y'all tripping if y'all think that's a snub. You think that's a snub?
Yeah, because of the way he's looked at out prospectively, he's looked at like a big ass cornball. They tripping them. They don't realize what.
That's what Joe tries to pay them.
Academics is kind of corny, man.
Well, no, you're talking about. I'm talking about his work ethic and his influence in the culture.
Oh,
that's nothing to play with.
I wouldn't.
Y'all tripping if y'all think so. That's not a slug at all.
I'm not saying Complex wouldn't have him.
Come on now, stop.
I wouldn't say he doesn't have some kind of influence because, no,
he
does have.
You're missing.
Wait,
missing.
Hold on. Wait. I wouldn't say he doesn't have some kind of influence because he wouldn't be in the position that he's in.
Of course.
However, every mainstream, every mainstream piece needs a Flavor Flav.
No, he's not. No,
I'm not saying he's like the oddball out.
Flavor Flav was a character. I don't think he's
he's slightly a character, and.
No, I think he's genuine. I think he's genuine in his opinions.
I
think he genuinely embraced the whole gossip culture in hip hop, and I definitely think he embraces the fact that it's some industry. Even though people try to make it look like it's indie or it's organic, he still thinks like there's a lot of industry shit going on in front of your eyes and behind closed doors, and he's like a voice. You know what I'm saying? There are people that think like him.
I should probably know.
You feel what I'm saying?
Didn't he start off by like
he was just doing
just like rating?
He was just doing
YouTube videos.
But he was doing YouTube videos. But his YouTube videos were basically just like critiquing albums. Like I like this. I don't like this.
Exactly.
This is whack.
Just giving his opinion.
And I think that's.
But he was giving. It wasn't. Of course, he didn't have any affiliation, so he was giving harsh opinions. Yeah. So basically, how people are in the comment list.
Yeah,
he was just pushing out like decent content, quality content consistently to where he formed his own. That's why they call him like chat room nigga. Him and his chat room niggas. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to say he's the almighty powerful. I'm not trying to overhype him, but I'm trying. I'm trying to qualify my comment. I'm not trying to. That wasn't no diss. I think that's a big.
I thought you were trying to.
I think it's kind of messed up.
I guess it's because I don't have a completely posive view.
You're paying attention to my point. Is you're paying attention to what he's posting, right? And if you feel like, hey, I'm gonna let you get into the question, but I feel like. If it's like,
what were some of the comments? Because I didn't see the post today. So what was?
No. I'm not even the comments. I'm gonna let you. Wait, hold up. Yeah. I'm gonna stop right here. I'm just gonna let you ask. I'm gonna let you give you a platform. You want to go to break and then come back and ask these questions, or you want to go ahead and fire away now?
Do you need to take a break?
You might gotta use the restroom.
No, I'm good.
Cool. You gotta use the restroom.
I didn't want to go and then like.
No, they good, nigga. We won't hear it.
Put a microphone in there.
Right. So I want you to give you the platform. Go ahead and ask you.
So, what do you know from what? Because I need to know what he said to you.
I'll
okay. Omit him telling me anything.
Okay. So, I feel maybe I don't know. Let me ask questions. I don't want to say I want to speak. Yeah.
that's a smart man right there.
let me ask questions. Do you think in your, I guess, coverage of Houston music, do you think you have done a complete job when it comes to all of the music that Houston has coming out?
No. Reason being is because there's always more.
Okay.
I mean, if I did a complete job, then I'd be done. It's over.
No, I'm not saying a complete job like you have you have a task and you do it and it's done.
Right.
What I'm saying is, do you feel like you have covered a wide enough spectrum to actually accentuate the diversity that exists in Houston's music?
I think I'm definitely on the right track.
Okay.
Dude, let me mediate this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And the reason why I say that is because, the reason why I started this path that I'm on with HoustonTREND Magazine was there wasn't an outlet for, at the time, because 97 on the Box was our only main outlet.
Yeah.
So they're so
The Stone
respectable.
Ages.
I know, look at this.
And at the time, they switched from being the local station that we had to now this top 40 station, commercial owned, and yada yada yada. You weren't getting on that station unless you were in the top 40 list.
Yeah.
So the people that we grew up listening to were no longer getting played. Artists that were coming out of here couldn't even get there. Stuff like that. So that was the premise of me starting HoustonTREND. From that point, I started to going to different spots and seeing different artists, thus introducing myself to guys like Dope Beezy, DeLorean. I found out I learned about DeLorean at a Warehouse Live concert. I can't remember who was performing, but he opened up for him.
Oh, that must have been Slaughterhouse.
Was it Slaughterhouse?
Yeah, I know. We was there when he opened up for him. It was him, and he brought out Propane and all. Dope. He had that song where all of them was on it. Might have been it.
No. This was before that. This was before that.
Okay.
Because that record is on Hood Politics 3.
That's true. Very true.
This was like Hood Politics 2, 1.2, one of those.
Gotcha.
1.2. I produced like 4 tracks on that.
We got some special niggas in the room.
Produced something on HP3.
Nice.
I tell this boy all the time. HP3 to me is a classic.
Nah, two is where he black. You did 4 on him too.
He did one. Well, I did a bunch on 1, and then he did a 1. I think he did a 1.2.
1.2, yeah.
Which I don't think a lot of people have it.
Right.
I didn't have anything on 2, but I had a track on 3.
My bad. Then 3 was his best.
Which one you had on 3?
The one with Big Sant and Jack Freeman.
Nice.
I forget the name of the song.
I have it on my phone.
Bust a Move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that whole album is. But anyway, so I started finding out, about a bunch of different artists out here. So the more and more I'm starting to find out, it's like, okay, I need to kind of funnel this and figure out how I'm gonna start, curating it a little bit. Now at the time, I wasn't even confident in my writing skills, so I had other writers that were in the same realm that I was in.
Dope writers.
Shout out to Cecilia Smith or Cecilia Austin now. Congratulations to them.
Congrats.
And just kind of adding to that. And then me finding out about other artists, and then from there, and then so on and so on. So there's a lot of artists out here that I still don't know.
Yeah.
And I'll be the first to admit that. There's probably some dope artists that I have not heard yet, because 99.9% of the time, I'm still looking at the guys that I was looking at back in 2010, like, yo, what up?
Yeah.
And then from them, and then it's a really weird way in how a lot of artists work with each other. Sometimes they don't, so I'm not hearing it because I'm listening to these guys, and they're not really crossing paths with anybody else.
Gotcha.
So I have to go to different shows, and that's how I found out about Kyle Herbert.
He's tough.
I can't talk for nothing today. His last album was dope. I hit him up today and was like, "Yo,
yeah, he's tough.
Just last album."
He's white, or he just light skinned like you?
Okay,
yeah. I didn't know. Elliot got me confused. I gotta ask.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this guy.
But now, more recently, I'm actively listening to a collection of different albums that was released this year from different Houston artists, and there's a reason for that. Some of the albums I like, some of them I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I'll never fault anyone for having an opinion about music. You like what you like at the end of the day.
So let me mediate this real quick. So is there like a, you feel like he's missing something?
I feel like he's missed a lot.
So and you think it's not in his face? You think he's heard it and he just has like friendships? Well, see,
I can't speak to that. I don't know the reasons why. And I'm not saying it like you're not looking for it. You know what I'm saying? Like now there have been historically there have been writers in this city that they don't look for it. Mm-hmm. And I kind of feel like, okay, if you're a journalist,
it's your job to look for it.
Part of your job is discovery,
right?
You know, self-discovery. Granted, you're going to take suggestions. You are going to heat check. You know, you're going to check social media. You're going to see what other people are talking about, and then maybe that's an entry point to let me listen to this album since I've heard people tweet about it, whatever, what have you. However, I feel like a lot of cats didn't do that legwork to be like, well, no, I'm going to take control of this. I'm going to be the guy that knows about everything. And I kind of be maniacal about it.
And I think that's important. I think you could be like a strong, like journalistic voice in Houston. So I think, hearing that, just knowing like, like I said, you already know, I haven't heard everything, but like I said, hit people up, who you listening to, things like that.
Right.
So that way.
And it's funny you say that, because actually there was a guy, as I'm riding the train to get to my car, I heard some guy. He was on the train with me, listening to something, and it was some guy from Houston. Didn't hear me when I asked him, but I was like, "Yo, who you listening to?" And then the door closed.
But I mean that's strange. But now you actually have people in the field now, like not in the field. I just called you a field nigga.
Wow.
But I'm sorry, man.
Damn, you went from a light skin joke to a slavery joke.
I gotta keep it balanced.
Both sides.
I can keep balanced, JettI. No, but I mean like you really do have people out there.
Still nigga.
Yeah,
Still nigga.
Indeed. But I think you got people out there that kind of you can kind of throw a post out there like, "What you listen to?" And they'll tell me this.
And I do that. Okay. I do that, and I have done that.
All right,
and some of the stuff I get back, y'all go listen to.
Right.
Just all depends on one, who's saying it, and then how often. And the reason why I say depends on who's saying it, because somebody can say, "Hey, he put this post out. Go say something." And I'll get 10 posts about artist that has no album out, has a single, it's horrible, and I get this, So now for me, I'm a little bit more cautious on how I want to approach these things, because people out there, they have 5, 6, 7 different social medias, and they'll get on a post and say, "Hey, check this person out, check this person out, check this person out." My DMs will get loaded with this shit. So it's frustrating.
Yeah, it has to be.
And then it's like, okay, if I'm going to find out, what's dope, it's almost, it either has to come to me, or somebody I know is rocking with them.
I was gonna say, just like, not even know, but you have like Donnie Houston's, you got the JettI's, you got people out there that are producing,
And I'll say this, Donnie Houston does a really good job about letting me know who he's working with.
Yeah, I mean, what's the joint he did halftime with?
Dwayne Jackson.
Dwayne Wavy Jackson.
Jackson, yeah.
We went to Warehouse Live a long time ago. We was checking out Jones. And I don't know if you remember that. And there was this dude. He was kind of reminded me of Kendrick. He had the little box.
Oh, it was a
little like a, and the old boy was there. Sav was out there.
Yeah.
And
there was like a contest, right? Like a showcase.
Showcase, right.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I remember him.
I was like, that dude right there. I was like, right there. I hit him on like, I was like, you trying to do videos for free for him. He ain't pay me no mind. And then but Donnie found him and did a whole project with him. I was like, okay,
EP with him.
Yeah.
But but I have a question though about the the magazine and your journalistic approach. I mean, is it, are you looking for kind of the artist under a rock, or are you looking for the guy that's starting to have a trend, right? I know your magazine is Houston Trend, because there's some magazines that used to come out and anybody could get in them and they lose their value, right? Because it's like, you can get in there, right? Yeah, exactly. But if you're a magazine where it's like you gotta have something working, right? You gotta be
and that's what attracts me to artists is, I understand you got this body of music, which is cool, And if I go listen to you, and it's only just this body of music, and I don't see any visuals, you know, you're not socially active, you're not, you know, here and there. I'm not hearing about you through these sources. Right. It's almost like
that's the heat check that JettI was talking about.
Right.
But you can see skill.
Now I can if I say that this body of work is just like, God damn, why in the fuck is you motherfuckers not jamming this shit?
Or why don't you have more visuals? Or why don't you have more
Now I will reach out to artists and do that. Like, yo, you know, X, Y, and Z. You know,
you put him in the follow up list. Like, I'm gonna check back on this guy in 6 months, see what he's doing.
Yeah, it's just I'm not hitting them up because part of it is it's also for them to find out. Yeah. You know, they have to figure out their formula that's going to work for them, because I can come out the sidelines and say, hey, you need a video. Hey, you need a hot song. Hey, you need this. Hey, you need that. But shit, what may work for them, you know, may be other than what I had to say. Yeah.
So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about this conversation that we had with Ninth Wonder.
All right.
That's a good little teaser, right?
Nice.
All right. So one of the big reasons why I wanted JettI here today, man. He has his own podcast, The Reality Caravan.
Virtual Reality Caravan. You always fucking.
I do.
You do it on purpose.
I left out the virtual.
Yeah.
But if you said the Be Told podcast, y'all probably be like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. The Virtual Reality podcast.
Yeah, Virtual Reality Caravan.
Now folks will
damn.
They have called.
See, I mean, it's just like this nigga.
What you said? What? No, what you said?
No, fool. I'm not gonna leave the slide because
it's 3 words.
You kind of be doing it, but it's like, it might be like a subconscious mistake.
Yeah.
But then even in that, I know that you're training yourself to just disrespect me whenever you have a chance.
Maybe that's what it is. Shout out to Rob Galot. So anyway,
it's the minivan.
Yeah.
God damn.
So I'm listening to his podcast, right?
Oh man.
And great podcast. And this episode you had on you had 2 Robs on.
Yeah, Rob J and Rob Gillette.
Rob Gillette. You said his name right.
I said it right today.
Yeah, he did. But on his Twitter, it's
inside my mind. I was like, nigga, change the name, change how you spell it, man. I don't want to disrespect somebody's name like that.
He actually spells it phonetically.
Yeah,
and it looks like Galot, and I was like, well, it looks like Galot too. But anyway, Gillette.
Yeah, it's Gillette.
So he was on there. Yeah. Now who else did you have on the podcast that night? That episode. This particular episode.
That episode. Floss was on there.
Okay.
I think Dustin was there too.
Because you just rapped the album.
Yeah.
Deck of the Pillows, which is ill.
Yeah. Go get that.
I got my merch too, which is ill merch.
Yeah, man. Don'tsleep.co. Go get some merch.
Yeah, you think I'm hating? I'm
I see you plugging it. You trying to make up for lost time.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So
he's good for something.
So I'm listening to it, and Layla's Dream comes up.
Yeah, we talked about Rhapsody's album.
Rhapsody's albums come up, and I'm a huge fan of that. Huge fan of Rhapsody from her last album, but this album I was like, yo, I'm thinking everybody's gonna be talking good about it, but I guess that's what this is about.
I feel like the tables are gonna turn against me on this.
Yeah, it will. No, not
darkness.
Really. We've already been through, but I think that's what these conversations are for, because we don't all agree, and the best time to talk about it is when you don't. If you all agree, this would be a horrible episode. So
it'd just be a bunch of yeah.
Oh yeah,
I like it too.
She did that. So anyway, but on this podcast, you brought up Layla's Dream, and it got real quiet, right? So I was like, okay, probably nobody listened to it. You brought it up. You talking about how much you loved it.
Yeah.
A couple people were like, you know what, I heard it one time. But Rob's take on it was hilarious, right? Because he was like, he was being fair. He's like, I heard it once. I really wasn't. That's how it happens like that. You're not really feeling it right away. But he said what got me. He said, yeah, my son was listening to it. He said, Daddy, is this your friend? Funny, that's funny as hell. But I was like, yo, they trying to get Rhapsody, yo. So they went in on it, and I was just kind of like, just me talking my shit. I tweeted out with the link. I said, yo, I was like, I'm about to turn this podcast off from all the disrespect they're showing Rhapsody, right?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Ninth had like
So backstory.
Whatever sort of Twitter search.
So
anybody
backstory.
talking about Rhapsody,
Right.
he was chiming in.
Possibly. But
no, he was. I
right.
saw him engage with people about
Right.
the album for better or worse.
Before you finish with that, I was going to give
Yeah.
backstory to that. So some of the bigger A&R work producers on that project are Guru and Ninth Wonder.
Yeah,
Right.
Knots Crisis is on there too.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. He knows way more than I do. So I'm just trying to set it up. You can finish.
In most music arguments, I know more than what.
Except for Michael Jackson in his range. We'll get to that later in the podcast, right? Bonus.
That's bonus.
So
You gotta stick around for that part. Boy.
So, with that tweet that went out, he responded back to the tweet like amazing. Ninth Wonder said, I was like, Ninth Wonder, it's always cool when a celebrity tweets
Yeah.
something and comments on it. Then, like 15 minutes later, absolutely amazing. And I was like, I screenshot that, sent to you. I was like, I think he
A
might be
little
listening.
sarcasm.
Yeah. I picked
Yeah.
up on it. So I sent the screenshot to JettI, and I was like, man, I think he might be listening, right? And then maybe like an hour later, it was like mad just conversation. But that's what I really wanted to get into, right?
Yeah.
Because you did have a conversation with him after that, right?
Yeah, I had a conversation with him on Twitter, and then he was in town for a Duce event at Wire Road. So
Shout out to Duce.
yeah, shout out to Duce.
Shout out to
And
Duce.
we were able to talk about it in person. I think he's coming from a standpoint of, one, as a creative, you're sensitive about your shit just in general. Just know that off top. Anybody, even the biggest people in the world, are still gonna be. You might strike a nerve. I guess that's kind of the beautiful thing of Twitter and social media is like
You're human, right?
I saw recently like Drake responded to somebody about someone alluding to that the Weeknd basically wrote most of Take
Right,
Care
I
and
did
gave
see
it to
that.
him, and he responded to somebody.
He
So
wrote like 2 or 4 records.
the biggest artists are still sensitive about the art that they put out. But the bigger point was that the way we consume albums, I think it determines people's opinion of it sometimes. Now, granted, if you're not into it, you're not into it. Rhapsody, when it comes to rappers in general, I think I think she can spit. I don't think in 2017 she's the easiest sell on somebody that's trying to listen to some new shit. You know what I'm saying? You have to get into her voice. I know I did.
Well, I don't understand why her voice is so hard. It's
It's gotten a lot better. I just think like her voice, sometimes the delivery. Earlier on, it was like I was really listening for the sake of the affiliation with Ninth. It was like, okay, this is an artist who's working with Ninth. I'm gonna give it a try. Slowly but surely, I became a fan of it. And this album, I feel like it's the best thing she's ever done. Easy.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
to Rob's point,
Gillette.
If you're listening to an album and you're skimming through and you're with your kid and you're distracted and you didn't really sit with it, then you're gonna say the things that you said about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't really sit with it like I would or you would. You know what I'm saying? So I just think everyone's process is different.
But you know what? To be fair, though, if I heard something I didn't like it, and I might not.
If
have
you,
as much
if you listen to something, if you don't
enthusiasm,
like it, you're not gonna listen to. You're not gonna make yourself like it.
Right.
And that's the thing that always kills me about Twitter. People will be like, "Oh, it's growing on me." I've listened to too much music for something to grow on me. At this point,
that's a true thing for me.
That is.
No.
Especially when I like somebody, it'll grow on me. If I don't like it, I don't
like
like
earlier on, stuff would grow on me.
Okay.
Now, if it grows on me, I don't think anything grows on me now. I think I come back to it and I've grown.
Got you. Oh,
So when I listen to it, it's different.
That's some smart
Like I
shit.
remember buying
Smart
Quasimodo's album, Madlib. It's some weird shit, but I was such a Madlib fan. I was like, let me check this out. I put that CD back down. I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's hard to digest.
I swear to God, 3 or 4 years later, I put it back in. I was like, oh, okay.
Because you weren't producing right away. You were more of an MC off top,
more
right?
MC. Yeah, at
And
the
then
beginning.
I think anytime you do something, you start to understand the nuances.
Yeah, so I've gone back to albums that I thought were horrible.
Yeah.
And years later, I'm like, kind of like it.
I wonder that because I think like, and I could appreciate you saying that you grow and that's where you may listen to something differently.
Yeah.
But for me, it's kind of like I'm going back to your guy Rob, listening to it while he's got
Stuff is
kids
going on,
going
yeah.
around and stuff like that. Like for me, it's some music that if I'm listening to it, like all right. So I tell this guy all the time, like I reach the manager artist, like, hey, what do you think about this? I'm like, man, you just sent it to me on the computer. I'm listening to it. I'm like, I gotta get in the car with it, or better yet, if I'm like on a plane,
Right.
and I can just like
Subway.
Subway, something where I can just like just zone out to your music. If I can zone out to your music, it's gonna grow on me, regardless.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like, I really like that,
Right.
Yeah.
you know. But if I'm doing something, if we're like in here, and somebody's like, yo, listen to this, and I'm like,
You're like, it may not.
I'm not paying attention. I'm not kind of in that state of mind where I can really kind of receive it.
Some stuff is just going to click to you just off top.
Right. Yeah.
And if it doesn't click to you and you kind of have to, and I'm learning this for myself, it's like I kind of have to separate from everything and digest it. With Rhapsody's album, I gave it like 2 or 3 listens and it sounded the same the first time I listened to it. And it's just like, I'm almost damn near forcing myself to like it. Because,
you can't. Yeah, you can't.
Because he likes
Yeah,
it.
you don't
know.
want to do that.
You know,
I
and
think-
I'm almost waiting for something to come from her that I like.
Right.
That's going to make me go back.
Right, and that may happen. I know I say this a lot where I'm at. It's another analogy. I hope y'all follow, and this won't turn this to argument. But I know working at a wireless store, right? A lot of times I have older customers or older clientele come in, and they want to get a flip phone, and they think that because it's easier up front, it's going to be easier to use. I'm like, usually the phones that are easier to use up front are harder to work. Right, the phones that are harder to figure out, once you figure it out, they're really, really simple. I think it's like that with music. Sometimes we hear music and you like it right away because there's a beat or something. You're like, oh, this is. It doesn't age well.
Yeah.
And some of the records that like Aquemini to me was like tough to digest at first. I didn't dislike it. I was like, whatever, it's different. But then after I got it, like it's timeless to me now. Versus like so I could bring up some records. I was joking earlier, but like Tim Maganu and some of those early records, I loved them at first because Tim's beats were they was slapping. Shout out to my Barry niggas.
Slapping.
Yeah, that's what they say, slapping. That's pretty cool though. But
Slappers.
But right now it's like it didn't age like Aquemini.
Yeah, some stuff doesn't age
You're not
well.
going back to listen to Magoo.
I know when
I would though, because I just listened to it so much.
as a producer, you're kind of
like Gatsby.
oh shit.
You're
You're kind of always listening, Like sometimes my test is maybe I need to be doing something and it needs to be on.
Yeah.
And if it gets my attention, I'm like, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Right.
Then that becomes something like, okay, well, damn, I like this. You know what I'm saying? A point of entry to as far as getting into an artist or a new song or whatever.
Right.
So that's something that Ninth said when we were talking about it. He's like, I'm always listening to stuff or listening for something to sample.
Right.
So some people's ears are just different.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm
agree
saying?
with that. I think and I said in the car certain things like if you got background music, certain things I'm like, what is that? You might be like, this is such and such. I'm like, yo, I hated that joint before.
Right.
It's all right.
Right.
I probably won't ride with it, but
Or
okay.
different setting.
Different
Or
settings.
the right setting.
You know what I love is it's gonna be I'm sure they're not paying you, but Google, and I know everybody else does it too. But like you go in the pool, like me and the kids and we go out there and you go to Google and it's got these like these moods. They got this playlist. They're just like, what kind of mood are you in? I'm like,
You ain't gonna know.
They ain't gonna know. Let me see it. I'm in a backyard cooking out mood, and then you listen to the songs they put in there. You're kind of like,
Wow, these motherfuckers know what's going on.
That's. But you kind of have that relationship with music, and I always say like when you get some music, the first thing I gotta hear about is does it hit me sonically?
Yeah.
And then I listen to the rest of it.
Right.
Then I listen to
that's
it.
the same thing
It's
with
a-
me.
So that's
musically.
why you
Don't
guys love
touch my soul,
Papoose.
then I can't listen to
That's
it.
why I can't listen to Papoose.
That's why you love Papoose.
Yeah, that's
Now,
what I'm saying.
if Papoose was rapping on some Alchemist, some Just Blaze,
Right.
I would probably give it a fair listen.
I don't think you would like it.
I would still be like,
I think I see why you guys don't like it, because you guys don't think he can rap. Like me, I see why, because I think he can rap. I think that he's out of pocket, and it kind of can get weird.
At what point did you?
We're not gonna go there. I just think he can. Y'all don't think he can, and I'm good with that. We ain't gonna go.
I just want to know
Yeah.
the day.
I ain't mean call you nigga off mic. I apologize. But I do want to ask you this, Otis, because you work with a few artists. You've been in meetings with a lot of different major labels and things like that. Listening to the landscape and what artists are doing now without development. What do you think, if they're listening, because I know they're listening now, what do you think that a new artist that has no manager, that has no label guidance or anything like that, what do you think they should? What's the number one thing they should be doing? If they're not, we're talking about somebody that's nice, that's young, no budget. What's the number one thing they should be doing?
Music wise, or just like everything.
I would say if you had to give them advice, not one thing, but if you had to give them advice, these are the steps you should take.
I mean, first thing is obviously, make the music good. But I think going back to what Elliot said before is, really try to get it. It's kind of hard to answer because it depends on what they're trying to do,
True.
right? Like if you're just an artist that you're just trying to, build a fan base, which I think that's what most artists are trying to do nowadays. Just make your music good.
Yeah.
And try to get it out as much as possible. Do as many shows and obviously get on social media as much as you can. But if you're trying to like make money off of it,
right.
then it's still all about a song. Right. It's still all about a song. It's still about a record that can go. That's still kind of what drives.
So do you think it's detrimental or beneficial to start trying to make money or make a song like early in your career when you don't have nothing else?
No, I don't.
Again,
I don't think so.
I think it depends on what you're trying to do.
I
don't think it's detrimental, but I also don't think it's the wrong path if you don't want to do it. Like, because I mean, you could look at a lot of artists that just made records that they like to make, right? And they've built fan bases to the point now where they can sell records and and they don't need any promotion at all.
Right.
They can just go put something out on.
Glad you said that because I disagree. Right. And I love it when I find an argument. This is awesome. Right. I think if you don't have
this is what you do all day. You just
don't
find entry points for arguments.
Well, what else we do? I agree with a lot of people, but that's not conversation. That don't need to be on air. I want to record the shit that we disagree with. I agree with a lot of shit, but I think artists on the come up with not a huge budget, no buzz, man. Just show them if you got skill. I mean, just go in, grab some shit, grab some beats that aren't yours. I don't care. Not like. JettI's beats. I'm talking about like grab some industry beats and just show them that you can go. Like I love what the dude Toby. Mm-hmm. He just goes by Toby, right?
I can't pronounce his last name, but yeah.
It's easy too. It just when you look at it, it doesn't. Yeah, right. Right. We're pretty much idiots. We should be like the brilliant idiots, or just the idiots without the brilliant. But I think that Toby, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Boy's a beat. He just giving us bars. But I think he's developing a following without making money. Well, I don't know about his pockets, but I know you probably not making money if you're using beats that have been made before, and he's just doing these.
But he's crashing them,
and it's developing such a following.
You're building equity though.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So when he does drop some original music or merch or whatever, then he's going to be able to cash in on what he's building right now. So.
I think that's key. It's like, look, because I know so many. There's people are trying to make songs already. I'm like, people don't know who you are yet.
Well,
that's a good point, man.
But I say there's
Caught it late. I caught that late. That was good though.
I say that there's two different paths, right? I mean, you could look at and look, obviously I'm out the game, so I'm not following these guys like I used to, but I'm going to assume that artists like Ray Shremmerd and the Migos and these guys, these guys, they make songs, right? And that's how they got on.
At least that's how we were introduced to them.
That's how we were introduced to them. Like you didn't. I don't think anybody heard about like, did you get that Migos tape? Nobody heard about them the way you were hearing about Chance the Rapper before Chance became Chance.
But we can't toss him out.
I know, but I'm just saying artists that are making music, just saying, I'm just gonna make music. Well, I'm gonna show you how fire I am.
Well, Russ, anybody know his story?
I've seen interviews and I haven't heard much music.
Oh, I love his music is ill.
Well, he's got the big record out right now, right?
But it go back.
Which record he has right now?
I don't know. I don't know what his big record.
It's all over the radio.
It's a slower record.
Like he's like singing on it.
Yeah. He's been singing. He's very melodic.
I've just seen.
You have heard it.
I've just seen his interviews.
Right.
I've just seen his personality in action. I've not heard much.
So
of music.
I like the Troy Aves. I like the Russ. I like that cocky about your work. You put the work in and you're arrogant about that. Like I put the work in. Right. I'm gonna tell you how I did the work. This is what I did. I didn't do this. This is what I'm done. And you understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that.
But you asked what is it detrimental? And I'm saying I'm just saying it depends on what you're trying to do. Like you know me before. I had arguments with it was one of Pitbull's DJs, and he was Pitbull's A&R or whatever.
Perk?
No, it was Buddha. And so me and him were arguing because this. I'm not sure if you guys had it down here, but like there was like this reggaeton. You know reggaeton.
Yeah, it came through and it went.
Like yes, but it's still in
it passed through.
Yeah.
But it did. I mean, it's
Noriega says the same thing.
But we had this argument, and my business partner at the time, I was arguing with the two of them because I'm like, look, I don't want to come out with music right that's trendy today, right, and going tomorrow. Like I believe that those artists that come out and build fans like. Sticky fans, they've got money for life, right? Joe Budden, Nas could drop an album, no promo, and
gold.
And everybody be like, oh, Nas dropping, I'm gonna go buy it. You don't have to hear anything.
Gold.
I'm gonna go get it. I know I'm gonna get quality.
Listen to it first, but yeah.
Wait. What'd you say?
I'm being facetious. No. Okay. I buy it.
Yeah, so
Crit's one of them dudes.
Yeah, Chris one of those guys.
No
that,
question.
Like if he dropped an album, you didn't hear anything. People would buy his album.
Yeah,
right,
for sure.
And so I was arguing with them. I was like, look, I look at it like reggaeton. Like there's these offshoots of hip hop and reggae, whatever the case may be. But everything kind of always comes back to kind of the center.
Hip hop. We all You always say that.
Always comes back to the center. And if you want to build sticky fans, then you gotta
rap.
You gotta rap.
And you gotta start with rap first. We realize this too, right? Yeah. So you look at like Black Eyed Peas. Mm-hmm. If you look at Flo Rida, all them, right? They started top 40. They started top 40. You can't you ain't checking for a Flo Rida mixtape. But CeeLo, look at the CeeLos, right? He's doing what Flo Rida all them doing, but he started Goody Mob.
Yeah.
You got to start, and even Donald Glover did a good. He started spitting, and then he can do whatever, and he can come back.
Because when you start commercial, that's what you are.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
B.O.B. And I heard he was ill, but he's introduced to us commercially. Yeah. Bruno Mars, he can't go back. Yeah. You can't go back. So if you're listening, let them know you can spit. Let them know you can spit. Repeat with nauseam like a politician. When they do these stumps and they repeat things over and over because everybody hasn't heard you. If you have a video that has 2,000 views, that don't mean shit. It's a lot of people out there. Keep going.
However,
okay, gotcha.
I'll say this, and obviously working with somebody like Pitbull and them dudes down there in Florida. Like, however, if you go that commercial route and you can bang that for a couple years, and your goal is to say, I'm gonna get in here and I just want to cash out. Yeah, you can go that route and do that. When Pitt told it, well, not Pitt, but when his people told us how much he made that one year, he made $22 million that year. Yeah. We're like, fuck. Yeah, they don't even know who you are. Like, I'm not saying they don't know who you are in hip hop anymore, but but
that was when he first cut the cornrows.
He wasn't even doing hip hop.
He just cut the cornrows, boat lift, put on the white suit, and it was just something different.
Yeah, Pitbull got to the money.
Yeah,
for sure.
And still getting it.
Yeah. Budweiser commercials and all kind of stuff. It's like this dude just
salute. He was hammered it real quick.
We just about to get money.
Yeah.
So ain't no album.
Nah. Yeah.
He
don't need it.
So I just say
I got this song in this commercial.
It just depends on what what you're trying to do as an artist. Like if you personally, right? If I'm in it, I'm like, do it that way. Right. Build that fan base to where you can always drop it down. Hey, I'm gonna do a show. Right. There's 10,000 people.
And real quick before we get out of here, I do want to ask kind of similar thing. I hear I'm not gonna slave over who said it. But it was somebody talking. It was a producer. He said, "Look, just find a producer, work with that producer, and get your work out." They're talking like young artists.
Oh, okay, artists working. Okay.
Yeah, you think that's a good idea to keep your sound cohesive, or you should keep working with just whomever? Or what you think?
For a new artist,
actually, let's scratch the new. Yeah, let's
any artist. I think it's beneficial if the producer knows what he's doing, or he or she knows what they're doing. Yeah,
Have you linked with an artist yet? Like, look, we gonna knock out.
Yeah. I have a couple of like artist EPs that I produce that are coming out next year. It's important, man. It's a relationship. It's a mutual, I guess, cross promotion. But it's also
a mashup.
You're actually building something. A lot of cats use those words like let's build, let's work. Yeah. And it's kind of like
that is a real example.
That's a letdown.
I would like to see more. I'd like to see more.
I would too, because that's how we grew up.
Yeah,
it's just like this producer, and then boom. Even though you have like a couple different, but everyone was you have your one producer. He may do 5, right. But the other 3 to 4 songs. They go, oh, that's the sensibility of your, and they would follow line.
If you're doing an album, you can have one producer doing like kind of like the foundation or what's going to be the sound. The sound, and then you can plug in from there. But yeah, I think now it's not going to work out just because both of y'all are dope.
Right.
At what you do.
But I think it is still like it's a resume builder though.
That's almost 90s era.
It is.
One artist, one producer.
It is. I mean, but if you think about it, like the way it used to go,
that.
I do miss it because I think when you get an album, when you get a project, you want to
understand.
You know what album?
You kind of want to feel that.
You know what album stopped all that?
Nas.
Illmatic.
Nas Illmatic. He's like, yeah, man, producers on that shit.
Yeah, I mean, but he had the all-stars that they wanted to work with him. That's why it still works because my bad.
Sorry.
They all wanted to work with him and they all gave him like their best stuff.
Because I love what you do. You take the opportunity because I don't, because if you're looking at it monetarily, what you're doing is not the best thing to do. But I think in terms of growth and in terms of just driving your brand, I think it's double. So when you did like with no words.
Yeah.
Am I saying that wrong?
Yeah, there are no words.
So that I thought it was super dope, super ill. It was just an instrumental, but it was a project. It was a brand. It was yourself.
Yeah.
Do people like reach out to you like I want that, I want to buy that, or
so sometimes people want to like record over it, and my thing was I don't want to sit on any of this music. So
right.
If I put it out, that means I can still make something off of it, whether you want to buy it or not. Because once it's out there, I can't control what people do. They can buy it and rap on it and put it out. Like,
do you see that? Do you see yourself doing more of those? Or
for sure. I got one coming out next week.
Damn.
So yeah, I mean,
working
because it's all different. It's all different now.
You just put out an album, nigga. It's Prince right here. That's why I like Prince. So Tupac. So are y'all mad at how Chris Brown put out his project?
Nah, it's genius.
I'm mad at
it. Now let me. Why do you say it's genius? Let me tap on this. Why you say it's genius?
Because people streaming, people ain't buying albums, bro.
And you think that profit margin will kind of is in your favor when you
album still.
If you added that album to your Apple Music or Spotify, now off of Intrigue, you're gonna listen to it.
At least
how many times?
At least 2-3 times. You listen to an album you didn't like 3 times. Right.
Think about that. Yeah. So now I'm
on season 1.
I'm essentially I'm getting 3 albums worth of spins off of one listen.
Right.
Come on, man. It's a playlist. It's what Drake did. It's almost what Drake did, but this is just more. People are like turned off by it because it's 45 songs.
So is it genius because of the business move, or do you like it also because
I haven't listened to it because me personally, I think 45 songs is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why.
Isn't it already certified gold or platinum or something?
That was Taylor Swift.
These niggas.
No, I'm talking about
when it comes to the system and the business, they're not playing, man.
Boy,
somebody planted that seed. Hey, man, you gonna drop 3 albums and we're gonna tell them it's one. And niggas gonna stream it, and niggas gonna hate it, but they still gonna check it out and be like, wow, how can he drop 45 songs? They gonna sit there and listen to all 45.
You think Crit wasn't thinking about that when he dropped his?
Of course.
I let that shit rock.
Yeah,
Chris Brown.
I haven't listened to. I'm gonna check it out because I heard that there's some.
I'm on season 1.
That shit's a double disc.
It is like a Netflix series. Like, yeah, man, I'm on.
No,
episode.
I saw that.
I listened to a couple tracks and was like, okay, I'm done.
I saw. Dang, there's 2. You would hate a 12 track album then.
No, because
I'm talking about Chris Brown. Like, I listened to.
No, but I think to your point, I think. Well, I don't know if it's your point or not, but.
What if
there's a 12-track album, I'm like, all right, let me get to 45 minutes and I can go, I'm gonna listen to some on my way to work, whatever. 45, like, I'm gonna split that up. And like I said before, like I do buy albums, and like the reason why I want to see the artist working with the producer come back, because I wanna be able to say, hey, at this point in time, this album,
they capture something.
Capture something. I went through it. I can't do that with a 45-track album. I can't do it. If he markets it like Drake marketed More Life and said it's a playlist, I guess. But
I can understand for you how it clicks because I mean, hell, all you gotta do is hit play, and when you're in here with a client,
like a playlist,
you just let it go.
Oh, and it's awesome. I'm like, this is dope. It's really. I'm just encouraging. I cut you off,
music has become. It hasn't become it's not the thing anymore. It's complimentary.
Childish Gambino said this. He said
not.
This.
It's no longer the. I mean, certain artists, the album is the event, right? You know, Jay-Z 444. That was an event. Yeah. That was like, okay, we got to listen to this album. Was Nick talking about?
Beyonce, Drake, Kendrick.
There's only a handful that these are event albums. For the rest, for everyone else, it's
what else you doing?
Complimentary.
This is what Donald Glover said 4 years ago. He said, music is the advertisement. He said the bakery doesn't charge for the smell. He said that a long time ago.
Man, that's
And this is before
Chance. Like he was saying, if he's doing a photo shoot and he's letting the 45 song Chris Brown playlist play, then it's served its purpose.
Exactly. Yeah. But also too, when you look at how it translated to just that business model, because he was the main one in Chance's ear. Yeah. Donald Glover. He ain't charge you for an album. He was like, yo, he was telling him that.
I personally think that's fucking the game up.
What, Chance?
No, just the whole idea. You already know how I feel about streaming, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is before.
You got an old school.
You talking about when it went from pay for my album, we're giving away stuff.
We're giving away stuff, you know, and trying to get beyond that, right? Because you know there are ways, right, for people to make music, but at the end of the day, when you look at other genres of music, they ain't doing that shit, and they're keeping that value, right, in terms of how many albums have you sold in your lifetime, right?
Hip hop leads the culture.
Hip hop.
I mean, you got to think about how quickly we were getting a hold of music.
Now
we were the first ones to bootleg an album before it came out. You know, so there had to have been a way to kind of control
that's a good
that.
Point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, we did steal some shit. Now it's like you can steal it if you want. That's cool. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, but you're gonna pay this $9.99 for this service.
But also too, like I looked at it. I was talking about this a couple of days ago with Waxaholics was in here. I was interviewing them for a promo. Yeah. And when I was trying to do a party, and remember I was talking about we had this conversation about Will Smith, and they were trying to figure out how he could be the biggest superstar. So they looked at the top 10 grossing movies of all time, right. And then they found out the common denominators. They was all sci-fi action pictures with aliens, except for one picture. It was Home Alone. So 9 of the 10.
Home Alone was on TV the other day, and I had to go in and indulge. I was like, I haven't seen this shit in a long time.
So out of the 10 top grossing U.S. films
Joe Pesci.
Of all time, all of them had 3 of the same common denominator. So what they did was simple. Every film he did, sci-fi, action, aliens. Independence Day, you run it down, Men in Black. That's what he did, and he became the biggest star of all time. So simple shit, right?
Yeah. Studying the trends.
So I took that approach when I was trying to do parties, right? This before I was trying to do parties. I looked and had somebody research it. What they found out, they were like, look, I couldn't find 3, but the common denominators, they're all free. Mm-hmm. And I look at like I said, the reason why I brought up Waxaholics because they don't charge. You go there, you have a great time. You probably spending crazy at the bar, or not crazy, but you spend a little bit more at the bar, and you have a little bit better time, and that culture kind of lives on.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that approach, if people took that approach with music, like, look, I'm gonna take a hit here. I learned it with Kirko, I was there, that was with me, but I shot a meet and greet for Kirko's whatever. Had a mixtape that was out for free, but he was touring like Milwaukee, Washington, Seattle. He was touring like it was like a 15-city tour he did. Yeah. And he was eating off that tour off a free mixtape, and I was just like, "Fuck."
See, here's my problem with it, right? And this is probably gonna sound crazy, but I think that there's too much music. I think there's way too much music. I think there's way too many artists.
Yeah, because that lane now is bust wide the fuck open.
It's wide open.
So there's no lane for we now have to prioritize artists when we're going to start releasing them because now you're releasing this shit when the fuck you want to.
It's the wild west, man. Somebody could drop an album tonight.
It's wide open.
Put the game in a frenzy.
The good thing about it is that you just never know what you're going to get, right? It's just damn. We just came across something that's the dopest thing I've heard in forever. But at the same time, like I just feel like, you know, to your point, you're saying like music is not the thing anymore, right? And yeah, I'm probably old school, whatever the case is. I like when music is the thing, right?
Oh, I'm definitely from that
and it's no
school.
longer even to an advertisement standpoint to where it's the thing. Yeah. We're not even advertising. It's like, okay, well, shit, they just dropped the album out last night.
Yeah.
Shit, you ain't heard about it?
Yeah.
You know, it's no more.
It's like a 4 to 5 day.
It's in rotation.
Twitter cycle.
What album was
that?
We're
talking about it right now, and then
what album was that fucked it up for everything? When it came out at midnight, there was no promotion. What was that first one?
To my Beyonce.
Was it Beyonce?
No, I think Watch the Throne.
Drake did something like that too.
No. Watch the Throne was built up.
They had a date.
That had built.
Drake dropped one. I remember I was at. We were both at White's Hall. They dropped the
if
the
you're reading
crooked.
this, is too late.
But there wasn't anything before that. I thought there was something before that.
Beyonce was the first one to drop one at midnight, and everybody had it.
Right.
Beyonce was the first person to drop something.
But there was build up.
No, none at all.
Okay,
It was all
The
secret.
self-titled, the self-titled was secret because they had videos for every song.
You're right.
They just dropped. Yeah, they dropped their. Yeah.
There after that point, after seeing how that worked, now it's.
But that only works with the artists like those hands full artists that he was talking about.
Well, if you want to use that point now, you backdoor with Drake. It worked with Drake. You know, you had I mean, there's certain artists that can do that
successfully.
However, it's now seen that from an artist standpoint, from them saying like, okay, well, if this is what they're doing, I can just release shit when the fuck I want to.
Because
from looking at it from an artist's eyes,
it's the Dane Cook strategy. Like look, I'm popping on these social media outlets. I don't need to put 1.3 point whatever million on this. I can just do it here across these platforms,
right?
And it's almost worth the same.
If you got enough fans and a bigger fan base,
it's the arbitrage.
You don't necessarily need a rollout.
Exactly. For those handful, but everybody can't do that.
Yeah. But for me, like I said, it's there's so much music that if an album comes out and I listen to it. I kind of agree with you because and then it's like, oh wait, what's name just dropped out? Oh man, and then I'm off that, right? And I'm like, I'm giving up.
Quick now.
I'm giving up this album that if I got to sit with that, I'd be like, man, we can't even identify like real classics anymore.
You're right.
You're you're 100% right.
People identify classics.
I still haven't let go of 444 yet.
I'm mad at that.
That's one of the few albums this year I always go back to it. I just put it up.
Yeah, I
put it in.
I'm still holding on to that.
Kendrick.
Yeah, I still listen to Down.
444.
Yep.
And Jaden Smith.
Kendrick's album I more or less listen to because it's like on my top 25 playlist that from songs that I've played.
Yeah.
If I'm playing that playlist, that comes up.
He's on fire. Okay, come on, let's talk about that. That's 4 in a row. What Pimp Butterfly? Did y'all fuck?
Yeah.
Did y'all fuck with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
heavy.
4 in a row, dude. For me,
and see, here's the thing.
That's crazy. And I haven't been a biggest. I'm like, this nigga on fire.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Yeah,
Meek
he's kind of perfect.
Meek really
right now
landed on the grenade for hip hop because he wouldn't be like right now without the whole ghostwriting rumor or ghostwriting tell. Excuse me. I think they would still be them too. But right now it's like
what you said, Meek
calling them out about writing.
Oh, okay.
Which is he didn't. I don't think Drake defended it well.
Yeah.
That's not his process.
But then Drake also kind of changed his approach.
His trajectory. He went top 40.
Yeah, he
went to the islands on y'all.
Yeah,
playlist.
He went to
the motherland.
I got these tribal beats. Now what?
He did one tribal with it, but I think
fuck if I wrote it.
but imagine
this bitch is groovy though, right?
Shit groovy,
but
man.
imagine if Meek didn't do what he did and he went that direction, like Kendrick would be trying to chase that.
Yeah,
and I don't think
Kendrick tried to chase that.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't because
I think people really wanted. I think a certain amount of people still want that. They want Drake and Kendrick, but I think Meek kind of fell on that situation.
There was
to where now it doesn't even matter. From a rapping standpoint, I feel like Kendrick definitely has surpassed
I think because
body of work wise,
because everyone discounts his bars now. I still think there was a Drake.
It's not so much you discount; it's just that you don't know.
Exactly right. But
It brings in a little bit of that. Yeah. It brings doubt in. So now you're kind of like, okay, maybe he wrote this one, but I don't know if he
exactly. You don't know. So I still think there was a Drake effect, right?
Yeah.
That helped Kendrick and J. Cole, because there was a point where it was like, well, we can't keep chasing that, because I think he took the Kanye approach where he was just like
both of them.
No, what I'm saying in terms of them going, all right, I'm not going to try to make these supreme hits. I'm going to just, let me take it down. Let me just be me. Let me just make my music. Let me just
I definitely think with Cole, like
2014 Forest Hill.
I'm just going to do myself. It worked out better for him.
And for Kendrick.
Now, after 2014 Forest Hill Drive, it was like, they fucks with me.
Yeah,
right.
And I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah, I agree. And I think for Kendrick, I don't know Kendrick like that, so I'm just making some assumptions here. But I don't think Kendrick, even if that thing never came out about Drake and
Kendrick's doing something. I think Kendrick
is going to be. He's just a different guy.
I feel like Kendrick's doing something completely different.
Kendrick is on Eminem's top 5
list.
Kendrick is like, fuck all y'all. I'm good.
It's true artistry going on. Whatever they're doing over there.
And I'm probably wrong, but I'm okay with saying stuff to be wrong, right? Because it's all about being opinionated. Because I said before his album came out, I was like, he's not going to chase anything. He's gonna go hip hop.
Yeah.
And he did that, and I was like, so I felt like I was right, but I think y'all are right. But I felt like I was right because he did what I said he was going to do, but he probably did it because he's a true hip hop purist.
Yeah.
And it's obvious because he keeps doing it over and over. And I think
he's big enough. He can do what he wants, and that kind of speaks to your point. Like, these artists, you want to get to a level where whenever you drop, your fan base is gonna cop. But
I said that about Jay-Z. He can do what he want, but there was a lot of albums where he didn't do what we wanted.
Yeah.
He didn't do what we wanted.
Yeah.
Now, one person that's not doing what I think he should be doing is your boy Eminem. I don't know. I don't even know what. Like,
he knows. I was the biggest. I was the largest.
I'm completely lost as far as what is his direction.
I was the largest.
I have no idea what he's trying to do.
With Eminem at this point now, I think because he's hit so many different peaks in his career, with him now, it's almost like, what do I do? How do I continue? How do I grow as an artist from this point? Because I've hit everything.
Yeah.
People are still trying to chase the things that I did, and I don't think he's looking at it like that.
I think Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart was quoting somebody else when he said, for a lot of artists, the way some artists want to do it, like, chase the money, and then when you don't need the money no more, then go chase the art.
Yeah, he did say that on Breakfast Club.
And for me, Eminem.
Like he's the epitome of that.
He's at a point right now. He doesn't need the money, so we want to see Eminem go back to his art form, right? And do that because
he doesn't need a song with Beyonce on it with a piano with no drums on it. He doesn't need no shit like that. He's got Grammys. He's got all the money. He's got.
So let me ask, for Eminem, what
go into the studio with Dre and Alchemist and Denon Porter and Black Milk and get Royce in there.
Black Milk and Porter.
and maybe
Alchemist.
Maybe Guilty Simpson and call up Black Thought and maybe get a beat from Primo and make a fucking classic rap album. You're supposed to be the best rapper, right? Technically, right? Prove it.
Exactly.
Stop giving me this bullshit. Yeah. That's some bullshit ass.
I got into an argument.
Man, that Beyonce song is terrible.
But you know what?
Terrible.
I'm still there. We want to talk about.
I think right now what he's trying to do, he's trying to go for the big.
Not necessarily lyrically. It's just the aim and the direction is terrible. It's just like
songs. Just
all right.
He's trying to go for like, what can I do now? Okay, Beyonce's the biggest thing. They want me to see the work. They want to see me work with the biggest.
I don't want to hear another. I cut your head.
Rick Rubin.
My mama.
Rick Rubin is on timeout, man. This. I don't know if y'all been keeping score at home. Rick Rubin struck out these last 3 or 4 times. He done something with somebody.
He's the word nigga.
I don't know. I'm just saying he has production credits on this Walk on Water song, and I'm just kind of like.
It probably influenced that.
All right, Rick.
So let me ask y'all a question, because this was a debate we had.
It's a Detroit question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know this.
Right now,
Elliot looking at his watch.
Right now. Yeah. Well,
wrap it up.
Okay, quick.
Wrap it up then.
Right now, if y'all had to, if Eminem and Big Sean was saying, hey, we're putting out separate mixtapes at the same time. Which one would you want to hear first right now?
Ooh. Are they strictly mixtapes?
You mean like are they using like industry beats and stuff like that?
Is it industry beats?
No. No. Think about.
Because it was industry beats. I'm gonna say Eminem.
No. Think about Eminem doing what he's been doing right now.
Okay.
Just think about Eminem right now. I'm
Big
putting out a project.
Which project would have better music?
Which project would you want to listen to first?
I'll go Big Sean.
I still would probably go.
I would go with Eminem strictly because of the history.
For namesake, yeah.
But the one that I think that's going to hold up.
Big Sean.
But who I think is going to have better music?
Big Sean.
Probably Big Sean.
I'll put it right now. I am not checking for Eminem.
Right.
Because of the music that I've been hearing him put out.
Yeah.
Well, that tells me
we as a culture always check for Eminem.
Yeah.
BET. I mean, there's a reason why. Look,
there's a reason why he had that acapella segment.
Anytime Eminem raps, it's a big deal. Just period. Anytime he decides to rap,
when he decides to rap,
when he decides to come out of his hole and actually rap, it's gonna get everybody's attention because he's synonymous with lyricism, and people want to see what is he gonna do, how is he gonna say it, how is he gonna flip it. Like he still has that interest from me, just from the love of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanna. Because I respect his skill level, you know what I'm saying? But the music, I just feel like the last 3 or 4 albums he's put out, they don't match his skill level.
Yeah, the Marshall Mathers LP2 hurt. It hurt me.
I want to talk.
His last really good album to me was Recovery. I thought Recovery was a good album. Anything else after
Recovery is better than what people say, but it still wasn't.
It was to me. It was almost like an introduction to a new Eminem.
Yeah.
So it was different than what we've had before. It was a lot more on a positive vibe than it was on anything else before.
Yeah. All I want to hear from Eminem is Renegade Eminem. I want to hear Renegade Eminem.
But that's like saying
Renegade is that vibe. That would be a nice.
But that's like saying I want to hear Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z.
I don't want to hear.
I do want to hear Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z.
But are you going to get
Reasonable Doubt? I get Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z.
We got Blueprint. We got 444.
But that's not Reasonable Doubt.
And we got it is. And we got
Black Album.
No, the soundtrack.
The Black Album. I mean, the American Gangster. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
We got Reasonable Doubt.
Right.
A few times over. And that's like not
I think when you're saying Reasonable Doubt, you're talking about just like the best.
You're giving us bars. You're giving us sound. Sonic.
Well, Jay-Z is always giving bars.
No, right. But he's also giving like a sound. Like if you listen to American Gangster,
right,
it's some like classic sample.
I mean, Jay's never going off the farm like Eminem going off the farm to me. Right now, you like. Hey,
I don't think Eminem's ever been on the farm.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
But I get what you're saying. Like sonically, yeah,
I think
like
you're
he's
milking this.
He may have.
Core's stupid.
Godly. All right, man.
My bad.
Cows, chickens,
and turkeys, and
Eminem.
And perfect hours for eggs. You know what I'm saying? Y'all guys are nuts.
That's a nice little tie back right there.
You really should be a comedian because you strung this joke. I know. He's done stand up. I've never seen it. I would like to see it.
He's like, I know, God damn it.
Because I've heard about it, but I'm just like, this was good.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
I know, right? That's actually my best joke.
It's like the breakfast egg joke has like been sprinkled through this whole podcast.
That's his joke, though.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I don't even eat eggs.
That's my whole point. His whole lineage don't even eat eggs.
Yo, so on that note, let's go ahead and start rolling it.
Let's do it. Let them know where they can find you, JettI.
Oh man, you can find me on the internet. It was invented by Al Gore in the
Shout out to Al Gore.
early '90s.
Democrats in the
I'm
building.
there. I'm on various apps.
Let me know your last album, though, Xequtive Pillows.
Go whatever you listen to music on, man. Search Xequtive Pillows. This should be the only thing that came out.
Give them the concept of why you call it Xequtive Pillows, which is pretty dope.
I feel like music is too dope to be slept on. You don't sleep on Xequtive Pillows.
Come on, talk about it.
Check out the album.
I literally tried to put out an album called like Good Towels, and I was like, nah. It's like, nah, that ain't gonna work.
No bullshit. I have like a concept for. I don't know if it's gonna be the follow up for it. It might be an instrumental thing, but Do you ever been to like someone's family house and they have like a nice room
that you can't go in?
No.
That you can't go in?
That's only black people.
Only black people do that.
Black people got rooms you can't go in. You got towels you can't wipe your hands on.
Right.
You got floors you can't. Hey, it's all kinds of shit.
It's for decoration.
Yeah,
so
straight up.
I kind of had this concept. I was like,
you can't use.
For decorative pillows, the follow would be the nice room.
Right.
Nice.
Oh, shit,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get off that couch, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, the couch got plastic on it. You know what I'm saying?
I might have to edit that.
Yeah.
I might have to edit that out.
You got the china cabinet that we never eat on.
Yeah,
we never
exactly.
eat on this on these plates.
Only black people.
What are we doing?
Exactly.
What is this room for?
What is it for?
Yeah.
Why does it look so beautiful and we can't be in it?
It's for you to look at.
That's it. That's it.
I think it's because black people are not used to having nice things. So when they do get nice things,
It's
they
like
appreciate it.
It's a
more.
museum.
Yeah,
Literally,
it's
Well, no, the money they spend on that couch.
Yeah,
they
like-
want that couch forever.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Get your ass on my goddamn couch.
Tell them where they can't find you.
Did your family
Otis.
have like paintings with like
I was gonna tell you,
cats?
you cannot find me on the internet.
There you go. Boom.
I'm off the grid.
Tell them where you can't find them.
I'm just literally like, I don't have anything to promote.
Hey,
so,
don't. Yeah, you ain't.
You off the grid, dog?
Nah. We ain't looking for him. We ain't looking.
Nah, you can find me.
Hey,
You
look,
can
check-
find me
check it for him
here
right
in
now.
the next time.
That's right.
whenever
Next
I come
episode,
back.
you'll find Otis giving great. Hey, I'll say this about the podcast that we have, man. We have some of the top notch guests. I don't care if it's about followers and maybe large followers, but a lot of times they have great minds, great projects, great art, whatever it is. They're gonna be here. So
Great
if you're looking for,
conversations.
if you're gonna, that's who the star is. The conversation.
That's why we're here.
But we definitely have some of the top guests here. So Elliot, tell them where they can find you.
Of course.
Just tell them one place. Tell them one place.
At Elliot Guidry.
There you go.
Everything.
That's right. Coreigh Terry on everything, and we out.
That's it.
You spell Coreigh different though.
They'll figure it out.
I don't think they will, but
They
it's
won't.
okay.
That's all good.
All right.
But when they do, like I said, there's a lot
gonna hit
of
'em like a ton
there's
of
a lot of
bricks.
power
I'm
in
like,
discovery.
I didn't even know you could spell it like that.
And we out.